Laughter and smiles occur across cultures. They occur in the first months of human development and continue to stay, then mainly within positive contexts. Typically sounding laughter is even produced by those with no or close to no auditory or visual experience, such as the deaf or the blind. But why do we laugh? Gelotology is the study of the physiological effects of laughter on our bodies. Laughing, in simple terms, can be described as a total physiological response to humor. This aspect is something we will investigate further to uncover the truth. Within the first 10 seconds of laughter, 15 facial muscles contract and relax, while stimulation of the zygomatic major muscle, the main lifting mechanism of your upper lip, occurs. The normal cyclical breathing pattern is disrupted. This causes increased ventilation, clearing of mucus plugs, and accelerating the boost of blood oxygen levels. Studies have shown that simply 20 seconds of laughter has the ability to double the heart rate in the following 3 to 5 minutes. However, approximately 20 minutes after laughter, physiological measures such as heart rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension dip below baseline levels. A sense of psychological and physiological relaxation and calmness occurs. Several brain regions are utilized while processing a joke, including the left hemisphere, frontal lobe, and occipital lobe. In fact, in experimental studies, external electronic stimulation of the anterior part of the human brain, supplementary motor areas, induced laughter. Although external manipulation was directly responsible for laughter induction, participants consistently attributed laughter to an external stimulus, indicating that participants created a unique interpretation and explanation for their laughter experience. Brain imaging studies reveal that social laughter activates different brain regions compared to involuntary laughter, highlighting the complexity and flexibility of our neural systems. It's not just about doing something funny. It's not just about reading or listening to a joke. It's much, much more. Throughout recorded history, laughter is most commonly associated with humor, resulting in some theories suggesting it evolved alongside or immediately after language. This is because humor is often seen as a verbal or conceptual play that requires the existence of a complex communication system. Proponents of this theory believe laughter is a physical manifestation of such a verbal recreation. Evidence against the theory of laughter evolving after speech comes from patients with brain damage that results in a neurological condition called pseudobulbar palsy. This term is used to describe patients who experience frequent, uncontrollable episodes of laughter and crying despite having no emotional stimulus for this behavior. Though caused by all sorts of brain injuries, including stroke, trauma, Parkinson's, and other degenerative disorders, the underlying principle is the same. The more evolutionarily advanced cerebral cortex of the brain, responsible for things like language acquisition, is damaged and loses its normal ability to regulate and repress the more primitive regions of our brain, such as the brainstem. Medical therapies aimed at strengthening these weakened control networks from the cortex are the most effective option in reducing the constant laughter, providing greater support for the idea that laughter is produced by more ancient evolutionary structures. To further investigate the origins of laughter, we must look at primate studies. Chimpanzee mothers may tickle their infants, who then produce play vocalization and open-mouth faces, expressions they would also show during solitary play as well as play with peers, such as rough and tumble play, tug of war, or play chase. These facial expressions show morphological commonalities with human laughing faces and smiles, Specifically, the open mouth phase of play is marked by contraction of the muscle zygomaticus major, which pulls the corners of the lips back and upwards, facial movements that categorize both laughing faces and smiles of humans. With all the similarities, there are a few small key differences of importance. Human and grape ape laugh vocalization seem to differ bioacoustically and perceptually, primarily regular voicing, airflow direction, and vibration regimes. Interestingly, unvoiced human laughter, which includes grunt, snort, and song-like laughing episodes, is more common than voiced laughter. Furthermore, it was found that the proportion of laughter perceived to be produced during exhalation was lower in infants than in adults, and that the older the infant, the more the laughter was aggressive. Over the course of early development, human laughter thus deviates increasingly from the laughter vocalization of non-human primates. The same study also found that it is likely the role of social feedback in developmental changes of laughter, with laughs produce more of the exhalation, eliciting more positive effects in adult listeners. This is the first evidence of laughter being augmented for higher order function with communication. De Villa-Ross and fellow researchers used raw acoustic data obtained from tickling-induced vocalizations of infant and juvenile great apes and human infants to conduct phylogenetic analysis. This matched an additional analysis that revealed that robustness of the tree topology indicated a shared evolutionary origin. Because human infant laughter was included in the study, phylogenetic evidence was provided that human laughter evolved from ancestral apes with the context of play at least 10 to 16 million years ago. But what did the great thinkers and philosophers say about laughter? Aristotle viewed laughter as a form of catharsis, a release of pent-up emotions which could cleanse the soul. He also noted that laughter is a distinctively human trait. Plato was more cautious about laughter, considering it a potentially subversive and capable of undermining authority and moral order. He also believed that excessive laughter could lead to the loss of self-control. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, noted the health benefits of laughter, suggesting it could positively impact one's physical and mental well-being. Cicero, the Roman orator and philosopher, appreciated the role of humor in rhetoric, recognizing that it could be a powerful tool in persuasion and social interaction. When we look to the Eastern philosopher Confucius, while not extensively discussing laughter, Confucius thought that valued harmony and saw humor as a way to strengthen social bonds when used appropriately. Overall, the ancient thinkers recognized the importance of laughter, though their views ranged from cautious to appreciation and enthusiasm, endorsements of its benefits for social cohesion and individual health. But not all cultures think of laughter and smiling the same in modern-day times. The perception and usage of humor vary greatly across different cultures, with Western and Eastern societies exhibiting some contrasting attitudes towards humor. In Western cultures, humor has long been embraced as a positive and natural expression of amusement, tracing back to ancient times. However, in Eastern cultures, humor is not held in high regard always. Instead, seriousness and restraint are often emphasized, leading to a reluctance to embrace humor for fear of undermining social status. Some Japanese people have reported finding typical American facial expressions to be a little strange, with mouths slightly too open and mouth corners raised too much. And Japanese smiles can be just as confusing for outsiders. Nakiwarai is a term used to convey crying while laughing and describes how Japanese people will be seen to smile when angry, sad, or embarrassed, as they also smile when happy. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology suggests that people from a Japanese cultural background may be better than Americans at detecting when a smile is genuine. Japanese people tend to focus attention on the eyes rather than the mouth when expressing emotions or reading them in others. It is thought the eyes may be better at portraying genuine emotions than the mouth, which may be why the Japanese can distinguish true smiles from false ones. Different cultural approaches to smiling have been impacted international relations at the highest level. During the Cold War, with the tensions high between the USSR and the United States, the American readiness to smile was a sticking point for the less smiley ready Soviets. Russian writers have often referred to how perplexing the American smile is to them. Maxim Gorky complained that the main thing you see on an American face is teeth. Several Russian proverbs also illuminate the cultural approach to laughing, such as, "To laugh without reason is a sign of idiocy." Finally, to kind of wrap up this exploration of laughter, it is important to note that laughter is underpinned by a complex neural system, making it a versatile tool for communication. It's not just about finding something funny, it's about bonding, agreement, affection, emotional regulation, and hidden intentions. When it comes to laughter, it is a pervasive nonverbal expression of emotions universally recognized. It's a strong social mediation. It means that we are 30 times more likely to laugh with someone else than when alone. We laugh most when we can see and hear someone, even if it's through a computer. Laughter is also highly contagious and can be triggered solely by hearing another person's laugh. Observational studies show that laughter frequently occurs in conversations, about 5 laughs per 10 minutes. Interestingly, this is much higher than what people self-report. Most conversational laughter is associated with statements and comments rather than jokes. In conversations, the person who laughs the most is often the person who has just spoken, indicating that laughter is frequently a voluntary communicative act. There is even a social learned dimension to tickling, which more than any other form of laughter is experienced as a physiological reflex. One can no more tell oneself a joke than tickle oneself.